Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins HD. Today, we're turning our attention to one of the most beloved and historic coins in American numismatics, the United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1945. At first glance, it might just seem like a tiny copper coin you've probably seen a million times, but trust me, this little penny has a story packed with history, mystery, and the potential to be worth an absolute fortune. So, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll discover why the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with a special mint mark could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. The Lincoln wheat penny is a symbol of American history and resilience, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The reverse side of the coin is distinguished by its iconic wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity and growth during a turbulent time in America's history. The 1945 penny is particularly significant because it was minted during the closing year of World War II, a period that added both historical value and collectability to coins produced in that era. In 1945, the United States Mint produced pennies in three major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint has its own identifying mark, or in Philadelphia's case, sometimes no mark at all. Denver pennies carry a D mint mark, while San Francisco pennies bear an S. These mint marks help collectors trace where the coin was struck and play a crucial role in determining a coin's rarity and value. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is widely available in circulation, but what sets some apart from others are rare variations and minting errors. For example, some 1945 pennies were struck on leftover 1944 bronze planchets instead of the standard steel or copper, creating a rare and valuable anomaly that collectors obsess over. These wrong planchet pennies have a distinctive color and composition, making them instantly recognizable and highly prized. Another feature that can dramatically increase the value of a 1945 wheat penny is the condition. Like most coins, pennies that have been well preserved over the decades, showing minimal wear and retaining their original luster, are far more valuable than those worn from circulation. Grading services such as PCGS and NGC certify these coins, assigning them grades from good to mint state, which helps buyers and sellers establish the coin's worth in the marketplace. Furthermore, there are rare die varieties from 1945 that can be worth more than your average wheat penny. These include slight differences in the placement of letters, doubling of design elements, or variations in the size and shape of the mint mark itself. Die varieties are like fingerprints for coins, unique features that make a coin one of a kind and highly collectible. Collectors also prize pennies with strong strike quality, where every detail of Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks on the back are crisp and clear. Coins that were struck with more pressure and fewer imperfections stand out in any collection and often command premium prices. The historical context surrounding the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny also adds to its allure. Produced during a time when America was emerging from the hardships of war, these pennies carry with them a story of resilience, hope, and rebuilding. They're more than just coins, they're pieces of history that connect us to an important era. Over the years, the market for 1945 Lincoln wheat pennies has seen some extraordinary sales, particularly when rare mint marks, minting errors, or exceptional condition coins are involved. Auctions and private collectors have shown incredible enthusiasm for these coins, sometimes driving prices to astonishing heights. So, what's the real value here? While many 1945 pennies in circulated condition are worth only a few cents or dollars, those that feature rare mint errors, pristine condition, or the elusive D or S mint marks in uncirculated state can be worth significantly more. Now, here's the exciting part, the ultimate reveal. One extraordinary 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, verified to be in near-perfect condition with a rare mint mark and possibly one of those prized minting errors, has sold for a staggering $117,000, yes, $117,000 for a single 1-cent coin. It's mind-blowing to realize that something so small and seemingly common can carry such tremendous value when you know what to look for. So next time you stumble upon a 1945 penny, whether in your change jar, an old collection, or even at a flea market, take a closer look. You might just be holding a hidden treasure. Today, we're focusing on a true classic, the United States 1-cent Lincoln wheat penny from 1952. You might think it's just a simple penny, but trust me, this small coin holds a world of fascinating history and, in some rare cases, can be worth far more than its humble face value. Stick with me as we explore the background, design, mint marks, rare variations, and of course, the jaw-dropping value of the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. This coin became an instant favorite for its meaningful design and historical significance. The reverse side features two stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage and prosperity, and this design remained in circulation until 1958. The 1952 penny falls right in the middle of that iconic era, making it a staple in many collections. 1952 was a fascinating year for the United States and the mint. After World War II, the economy was booming, and the mint was producing billions of coins to meet the demands of everyday commerce. The Lincoln Wheat Penny in 1952 was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These mints are identified by their mint marks: no mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. Knowing the mint mark on your penny can be crucial for determining its rarity and value. The 1952 pennies from Philadelphia were produced in the largest quantities, followed by Denver, with San Francisco producing fewer coins primarily for collectors as proof sets. While most 1952 pennies you find in circulation are common and worth only a few cents, certain mint marks, especially those from Denver and San Francisco, can be more valuable, particularly if the coin is in excellent condition. What truly makes some 1952 pennies special are rare minting errors and varieties. These can include double dies, where the coin's design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die-making process. Another notable error is the presence of repunched mint marks, where the mint mark was stamped more than once, creating a ghost image effect. Collectors prize these error coins because they are one-of-a-kind mistakes that slip through the mint's quality control. Condition plays a monumental role in determining the value of any coin, and the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny is no exception. Most pennies found today have been through decades of circulation, accumulating scratches, wear, and discoloration. But those preserved in mint state or uncirculated condition, showing crisp details, vibrant luster, and no signs of wear, are highly sought after. Coins graded as MS-65 or above by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can command significant premiums. Additionally, proof coins from 1952, which carry the S mint mark and were specially made for collectors with a mirror-like finish, are particularly valuable when kept in pristine condition. These proofs are rarely found outside of collections because they were not intended for circulation. Another fascinating aspect of the 1952 penny is the historical significance embedded in its metal composition. Like other wheat pennies minted before 1959, it's primarily made of copper, which is a valuable metal in its own right. During the war years, some pennies were made with different alloys, making certain years and mint marks even more desirable. While 1952 coins don't have the wartime composition, their copper content still adds a subtle intrinsic value. Collectors also keep an eye out for coins with exceptional strike quality. A well-struck 1952 penny will show sharp details on Lincoln's profile, the wheat stalks, and the date. Such coins, especially when coupled with a rare mint mark or error, can be worth much more than the average penny. The market for 1952 Lincoln Wheat pennies has grown steadily over the years as more collectors realize the importance of mint marks, condition, and rarity. Auctions and private sales have showcased remarkable examples of these coins fetching significant sums. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the stunning valuation of the rarest and most exceptional 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny. One of these extraordinary coins, featuring a rare mint mark, near perfect condition, and possibly a notable minting error, has been sold for an astonishing $102,000. That's right, $102,000 for a single penny. It's truly amazing how a coin so small and seemingly ordinary can hold such incredible value when all the right elements come together. So, if you ever find yourself sorting through old coins, don't just toss aside that 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny. Take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and collectible pennies in American history, the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat penny from 1958. While most pennies get lost in the shuffle of everyday transactions, this particular coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and can actually be worth a remarkable amount of money. Stick around as we explore the rich history, unique features, mint marks, and the incredible value of the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny. The Lincoln Wheat penny series has been a cornerstone of American coinage since its debut in 1909, created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design features the iconic profile of Lincoln on the obverse, and on the reverse, two stalks of wheat framing the coin's denomination, hence the wheat penny nickname. The design perfectly captures a sense of Americana, agriculture, and prosperity. The 1958 penny is especially noteworthy because it was minted in the final year of the Wheat penny series, making it a historic bridge before the coin's reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. In 1958, the Lincoln Wheat penny was produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. These mint marks play a key role in determining the rarity and value of a coin. While Philadelphia produced the highest number of coins that year, Denver and San Francisco's output was smaller, and pennies from these mints can be more valuable depending on condition and rarity. What sets the 1958 Wheat penny apart is not just its place in history but also the subtle variations and minting errors that collectors dream about. For instance, some 1958 pennies show doubling on the die, where parts of the date or lettering appear duplicated or blurry due to a manufacturing glitch. These double-die pennies are rare and highly sought after. Then there are off-center strikes, where the coin was misaligned during minting, leaving a portion of the design missing, another prized find among collectors. Condition is king when it comes to coin value. Most 1958 pennies you find in circulation will have signs of wear, softened details, scratches, and discoloration. However, those preserved in mint or near-mint condition, with crisp details and original luster, can command premium prices. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified many 1958 pennies as mint state (MS) coins, assigning grades that greatly influence market value. Another point of interest is the 1958 proof pennies produced at the San Francisco Mint. These proofs, created for collectors, have a mirror-like finish and sharper details compared to circulation coins. A 1958 proof penny in flawless condition is a gem that can fetch higher prices in the collector market. Historically, the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny represents a time of transition in U.S. coinage and American culture. It was the last year for the wheat design, which had been in place for nearly 50 years, making it a symbolic end of an era. Collectors often seek coins from transitional years because they mark significant changes in minting and design. The metal composition of the 1958 penny is primarily copper, which adds an intrinsic value aside from its collector appeal. Unlike the wartime steel pennies produced in the early 1940s, the 1958 penny returns to the classic copper alloy, prized both for its historical continuity and its metal value. The market for 1958 Lincoln Wheat pennies has seen increasing interest as collectors realize the coin's importance and rarity in top conditions. Special editions, mint errors, and well-preserved examples have sparked competitive bidding in auctions and private sales worldwide. Now, let's get to the exciting part. What is the value of a rare, pristine 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny? While most pennies from this year might only be worth a few cents to a few dollars, an exceptional example, featuring a rare mint mark, flawless condition, and perhaps a notable minting error, has been known to sell for an astonishing $100,000. Yes, $100,000 for a single penny. It's truly amazing to consider how a tiny piece of metal, often overlooked and taken for granted, can be worth such an extraordinary sum when rarity, history, and condition come together. So next time you come across a 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny, don't just toss it aside, take a moment to examine it closely. You might be holding a little treasure with a story to tell and a fortune waiting to be discovered. Today, we're diving deep into a truly iconic piece of American numismatic history, the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat penny from 1944. At first glance, it may seem like just a small copper coin, but trust me, the 1944 penny holds a unique place in the world of coin collecting. It's packed with history, intriguing minting stories, and in rare cases, can be worth a jaw-dropping sum of money. So, stick around as we uncover everything you need to know about the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny and its astonishing value. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series started in 1909, introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th President of the United States. The obverse side features the classic profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse showcases two wheat ears, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots and prosperity. The 1944 wheat penny was struck during a pivotal moment in history, right in the midst of World War II, a time of intense national effort and change. Now, one of the fascinating things about the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its unique place in minting history. During World War II, copper was a critical material needed for the war effort, especially for manufacturing ammunition and other military equipment. To conserve copper, the U.S. Mint switched to using steel coated with zinc to produce pennies in 1943. However, by 1944, the Mint returned to copper but instead recycled spent shell casings from the military, resulting in pennies made from recycled brass shells. This made the 1944 copper penny different from previous years both in composition and in story, which adds a rich layer to its appeal. The 1944 penny was produced in massive quantities at 3 mints: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; and San Francisco, S Mint Mark. While these coins were everywhere, making them seemingly common, certain varieties and mint errors make some 1944 pennies extremely rare and sought after. One of the most talked about rarities among 1944 pennies is the 1944 steel penny. Due to a few leftover steel planchets from 1943 mistakenly used in 1944, a small number of pennies were struck on steel rather than copper. These steel pennies are extremely rare and can command very high prices because they were not meant to be produced. Spotting one is a collector's dream, and it instantly boosts the coin's value. Then there are other rare minting anomalies such as double dies, where you can see a doubling effect on the date or lettering caused by the die shifting during the minting process. These double die errors are prized for their uniqueness and rarity. Condition is another critical factor in the value of any coin. While most 1944 pennies have been well circulated and show signs of wear, those preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition are far more valuable. Mint state examples that show no wear, original luster, and sharp details often receive high grades from professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, dramatically increasing their market worth. Collectors also seek out proof coins from 1944, which were specially made for collectors with mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. These proofs are harder to find in flawless condition and can be worth significantly more than their circulated counterparts. The metal composition, mint marks, mint errors, and condition all contribute to the complexity of valuing the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. But it's the combination of history, rarity, and condition that makes this penny a true gem for collectors. Over the years, the value of these pennies has seen some extraordinary highs. While most 1944 pennies in circulated condition are worth just a few cents to a few dollars, certain rare variations and mint errors in top grades have sold at auction for incredible sums. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for: one exceptionally rare and perfectly preserved 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, with a rare mint mark and possibly one of those coveted minting errors, has been known to fetch an unbelievable $123,000, yes, $123,000 for a single 1-cent coin. It's truly mind-blowing how a coin so small and common can be worth such an extraordinary amount when all the right factors come together. So next time you're digging through your coin jar or estate collection, pay close attention to that 1944 penny. It might just be a hidden treasure with a fascinating story and an eye-popping value. Today, we're turning our attention to a classic piece of American numismatic history, the United States 1-cent Lincoln Wheat Penny from 1957. At first glance, it might look like an everyday penny, but believe me, this small coin carries a fascinating history and, in rare cases, can be worth a staggering amount of money. So, stick with me as we dive into the history, design, mint marks, unique features, and ultimately, the impressive value of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, is one of the most beloved and enduring coin designs in American history. The obverse showcases a dignified portrait of Lincoln, crafted by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse features two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the country's agricultural roots and prosperity. The 1957 penny is particularly significant because it belongs to the final years of the wheat penny era, which lasted until 1958 before the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. In 1957, pennies were minted at two locations, Philadelphia, with no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a D. These mint marks are crucial for collectors, as they often determine the rarity and desirability of a coin. While the Philadelphia Mint produced the bulk of the pennies that year, the Denver Mint output was comparatively lower, which can affect the value of coins from each mint. One interesting aspect about the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is the subtle variations and minting quirks that make some specimens more collectible than others. Errors like double dies, where the coin's date or lettering appears doubled, are particularly sought after. Such errors occur when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during production, leaving a distinct doubled impression on the coin's surface. These coins are rare and highly prized among collectors. Additionally, there are instances of repunched mint marks on 1957 pennies. This happens when the mint mark is stamped more than once, creating a ghosted or doubled effect, which also increases a coin's value. These varieties are fascinating examples of the minting process and add a layer of uniqueness to each coin. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting, and the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is no exception. While most pennies found in circulation show wear, scratches, and loss of detail, those preserved in mint state, meaning they show no signs of wear and retain their original luster, can command premium prices. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC assess these coins and assign grades, with coins graded MS 65 or higher fetching the most attention and value from collectors. Proof coins from 1957, minted at San Francisco with an S mint mark, are another highlight for collectors. These proofs were specially struck for collectors, featuring mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, making them rarer and more valuable when kept in pristine condition. Beyond the design and minting quirks, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny also carries a historical significance. It represents a period of post-World War II prosperity and growth in the United States, a time when the country was experiencing rapid change and optimism. The penny serves as a tangible piece of that era, capturing both the spirit and the economy of the time. The metal composition of the 1957 penny is primarily copper, continuing the tradition of using this valuable metal in American coinage before the shift to zinc-coated steel pennies in later years. This copper content adds a subtle intrinsic value to the coin, beyond its collectible appeal. Over the years, interest in the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny has grown steadily, with collectors eager to find well-preserved examples, rare mint marks, and error coins. Auctions and private sales have seen some remarkable prices for these coins, especially those in exceptional condition or with unique minting errors. Now, here comes the most exciting part, the value of an extraordinary 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. While most pennies from this year are worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars in circulated condition, a rare, flawless example, possibly with a notable mint mark or minting error, has been known to sell for an incredible $116,700. Yes, $116,700 for a single penny. It's amazing to think that such a small, everyday object can be so valuable when rarity, condition, and history come together. So, if you ever stumble upon a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You might be holding a piece of history that's worth a small fortune. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about fascinating coins and their stories, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future content. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and happy treasure hunting.